after yesterday's struggles, and Tortorella was obviously not happy, and I think he wasn't even happy today also. And to have that fight and that pushback, what does it say about this team right now?
It's a big learning step for us. It's a stride in the right direction. I don't know, as many cliches as you want to put at it. No one in this room is happy that we lost. Nobody. We're happy that we got 1 point instead of 0, and that's it. But I think when you talk about how we're going to continue to grow in this locker room and how you're going to see us in the second half of the season after the break, that tonight was huge for our mentality, how we're going to go into games, how we need to compete in games the whole time. 60-minute game, right? We didn't start off on the right foot. We didn't play the first period that we needed to. We played just well enough to get a point, which was really well in the second half of the game. But we have to figure out, that's our next step, I think, just how to play a full 60.
What was the mood on the bench going down? I know the fifth goal was, I think, like in the last minute or two of the period, but I mean, what was the mood throughout that period with how things were running? Was it still in the game kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen our firepower. We're great in the transition, and I thought tonight we held possession a little more in their end, and I think we threw the puck at the net. You know what I mean? Like, I think we felt like we could get on rebounds, we could break down their coverage a little better if we stayed on pucks. And create our offense more about getting them off guard, getting to rebounds, and I think that's what led us to, how many of our goals were rebound goals or net front goals. That was the difference tonight. It wasn't rush goals. It was getting dirty enough to find a way to claw back in the game.
I was going to say, I can't remember when he said it, but Tortorella talked about having grit and how you need to have grit, especially now after the holiday break and into the second half of the season. Would you say this is, with everything that went on in this game and the pushing and the shoving and the fights and everything, was this that kind of game that he was looking for?
Yeah, I'm not going to speak for him, but I don't think he means grit in that sense. I think he means having that fight to be in a game. Those small battles, I think what Seals did for us was huge. That turned the tide. That got us going, and that's huge for our energy. But I think what he's talking about is being ready to fight for every puck, and having that grit to know that every play can make a difference in the game. And we were on the wrong end of them early on, but to stick with it, and that's what we're going to keep doing. And that's the second half of the season. That's where points are. We can't change the points we have now, but if we show up with grit the second half of the year, we're going to put ourselves in a good spot.
A big goal for you personally. What was it like scoring? It's been I think November was the last time you buried one.
I don't like to look at it like that. Yeah, I thought we played really well tonight. I thought Nick and Lottie were great. I thought we played fast. I thought we got pucks to the net. You look at that play where we go with speed. We get a change. We're all going in. Lottie pulls up, and we're just going to the net. And if they had saved it, Nick was right there for the rebound. Like, that's how we need to play. And I thought that was a glimpse of what we're trying to grow on.
And obviously, having Carter back in net, what was your assessment? I know the first period obviously led in 5, but not everyone was necessarily his fault if you look back at it. What was your assessment of his game overall?
He's an unbelievable goalie. I don't think we have a chance to get a point in that game if he doesn't play as well as he does. And that's throughout the game. I think he still made plays in the first period that saved us. It could have been worse. And I mean, you go back to that overtime save right before the shootout. That's one that the game's over if he doesn't stand on his head like that. And that's what we've seen all year, not just from Carter but from Sammy too. Like we're lucky. We got great goalies in the system and an organization to give us a fighting chance every night. And I think ideally we support them a little more in the first period. We'll grow on that.